friends, it's Cry Bunny here, and today I will be telling you and giving you tips on how I accidentally speed ran getting affiliate on Twitch, and here's how you can too. So without further ado, let's get started. So first things first, I do want to say that I did start streaming on like a brand new account, so I didn't have any previous like streaming hours or anything. So if you've been streaming for a little bit and you already have hours, it might take you a little bit longer to get it, but rest assured you definitely can. I started streaming on September 1st and I got affiliate on September 7th. So it's definitely possible if you don't have any type of like in real life support. I didn't tell anyone that I knew in real life that I was streaming, so all of the people that are viewing my stream, except maybe one at this point, I've told like 2 or 3 people, but when I got affiliate, like they weren't in my streams. So if you don't have anyone supporting you, you can still reach affiliate. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't. I'm going to be breaking these tips down into 3 categories. The first one is going to be profile. The second one is going to be what you can do on stream, and the third one is going to be what you can do off stream. Starting with the first one, with what you can do with your profile, is you want to make sure you fill out your about me and your panels. There are a lot of people on Twitch that are trying to grow, but you'd be surprised on how many people don't have their profile filled out. They may have a profile picture and that's it. Make sure that your about section is filled out and make sure that you have panels. Even if you don't have any type of panels, just make sure that you write something about you, because if people are coming to your stream when you are offline, how are they supposed to know anything about you if there's nothing there? Second thing that you want to do is enable VODs. Once you enable VODs, a whole new world is open, because once again, when people are coming to your stream, let's say you get shouted out, right? Let's say you raid someone and they're telling, the followers to follow you and check out your page. But if they go to your page and there's nothing there, there's no VODs, there's no previous streams, people more than likely aren't going to follow you because they don't even know that you're a streamer to begin with. There are people that I know that simply are on Twitch to just simply watch and support people, and they have followers. So you having followers doesn't necessarily mean that you stream, especially if you don't have enabled VODs and you don't have your profile filled out, then no one's going to want to follow you. The third tip that I have in this category is before you go live, make sure you have a good title and you utilize tags. Twitch allows you to have up to 10 tags on your stream, so make sure you're utilizing them. Make sure you swap them out. You can actually go into your analytics so you can see which tags are getting you impressions and which ones maybe aren't doing so well, and you can switch them out. Make sure that the title is kind of catchy. Does the title really matter? Yes and no. Sometimes if people just look at the little box where you're playing the game, sometimes that is enough to get them to click on it. But if you have maybe a more catching title, maybe that'll draw them to your stream versus, someone else's stream. Like if your stream just says, hey, or come join, or something random that doesn't really have to do anything with the game, the odds of someone clicking on it probably isn't going to be too much. The fourth tip that I have in this category is pay attention to what you are streaming. If you are streaming, for example, I know a lot of people talk about Fortnite and Apex, but those are bigger games on Twitch. I'm not saying that you can't grow, because I know people that have gotten affiliate just simply playing those games, but if you don't have any outside support and you're just simply trying to get new people coming into your stream, you are not going to get any new people simply just streaming Fortnite and Apex. What you want to do is pick smaller games that can get you a little bit more discoverability. You don't want to choose games that have no views at all, but games where you are simply streaming Fortnite and Apex, if you don't have anyone coming into your streams, you might want to change it to a different game that has a little less people streaming it until you at least get your name out there. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. I do have some other tips later on in the video that can kind of help you if you want to continue just playing Fortnite, Apex, or any other larger game like League of Legends or anything like that. The next category that I have on here is what you can do on stream. Now, on stream is probably going to be the most important because people are mainly going to discover you when you are streaming. You get the most clicks, the most views, and so I'm gonna show you a little bit of what you can do. The first thing that you wanna do is make sure you have alerts. So that was when people are coming into your stream and they're following, you have an alert that will let you know, and that kind of will allow you to get used to addressing people, addressing those alerts, and paying attention. You will have some people that will follow and not really like talk in the chat. That's fine too, but it at least gives you more talking points, and it gets you paying attention and saying, oh, thanks for following. Then you also know when you are doing something right. Maybe they've been lurking for a little bit, and maybe you made a funny joke and that's what made them follow. Stuff like that you can take into account later on when you are trying to decide what works for your stream and what doesn't. Second tip that I have here, it makes sense, but you'd be surprised at how many people don't do it, is making sure that you are engaging in your chat. I have visited streams where I'm trying to find new people to watch, and I've talked in their stream and it took them maybe like 3 to 5 minutes to say something to me. Now for me, I have a little bit more leniency because if I know that they're a newer streamer and they haven't hit affiliate, I know that they're probably just getting used to playing the game and paying attention. But for other people, a lot of people aren't going to wait that long for you to acknowledge them. So if they come into your stream and you haven't been paying attention, and by the time you do, they've probably already left. So you just want to make sure that you are paying attention to your chat. If that means playing a different game until you get used to playing and paying attention to chat at the same time, that's exactly what you need to do. Because if you are going to constantly be ignoring your chat or taking forever to respond back, people aren't going to stay because you're not acknowledging them. The other thing is always be talking. Assume the moment that you go silent, a new viewer is going to come in. This is something that has helped me a ton because there are times where I'm playing the game that I play and there might be a little silent moment, and I try not to stay quiet for too long. Because picture this, let's say you're doing something in game and the moment that you go quiet, and let's say you're not even, in an intense moment. I think if you are in an intense moment in a game, people don't really mind too much. But if there's no intense moment in the game and you go silent, and let's say that person comes in right when you go silent, that's at least 5 to 10 seconds that you are silent, that person hasn't heard you say anything. Most people are gonna bounce after that, okay? So you have to assume that the moment that you go silent, that someone is going to come in. So if that means you have to randomly talk about something that you see on your desk, if that means you have to randomly say that you like pancakes, maybe you have a phrase that you're going to say when you don't know what to say. Sometimes that's fine, but you have to know how to come out of a situation like that. You can also have a little notebook next to you as you're streaming with little like questions that you can ask your stream. Just make sure you respond to them yourself first. Don't wait for your chat to respond, because sometimes people aren't going to talk in your chat, and sometimes it might take them a little bit to actually respond. That was another tip in of itself. Make sure you have prompts. So you don't necessarily have to ask the chat a question. Maybe you can just make a statement. I somehow made a statement on saying that I don't like onions, and it turned into a whole conversation in my chat, and we ended up talking about other foods as well. So, I mean, sometimes just simply making a statement will guide the conversation as well, especially if your chat is kind of like not really saying much, or if you don't really have much to say, maybe because the game that you're playing isn't that exciting, or maybe there's nothing really to narrate at that point in time. That's fine, but you have to understand that when you are streaming, you are entertaining, and if you are not entertaining, then no one's going to want to stay. And the last tip that I have in this category is that if you have a lower viewer average, so let's say you have less than 3 and you are trying to make affiliate, have shorter streams. If you are streaming for 2-3 hours and that whole time 2 people are there, cut your stream to an hour short. What this does is that Twitch takes the last 30 days of your streams into account. So if you're streaming for, let's say 3-4 hours, and maybe you did hit 3 viewers, but most of the time it was at 1 or 2, your viewer average is still going to be down. If you have 3 viewers and the majority of the time that you were streaming, you kept that number, then you can probably keep going. But if you've only had it for a little bit and that's kind of dipping, just stop the stream, because what it's going to do is it's just going to add more time to your streaming time, and then your viewer average is going to be low because it does it by the hours, not necessarily like the people. It takes both of those stats into account. A kind of tip for this is what you can do. I know a lot of people say like don't turn on the viewer count, but like if you're trying to reach affiliate, you might want the viewer count on, so that way you know how close or far away you are to if you need to stop the stream. So what you can do is that if you are getting more people into your stream, maybe extend the stream for like 15 more minutes, and then if it dips again, then you can end, but don't end abruptly. I've seen some people do that and it's just kind of off-putting. At least give a little goodbye message, something. Don't just abruptly end stream because you see that maybe you had 3 and maybe now you only have 1. That's okay. Stream for another 10-15 minutes and then end stream. The last category that I have here is things that you can do off stream. Now, the things that you can do off stream is probably the most important. There are some people who start streaming on Twitch and then they like don't ever do anything when they're not streaming. And if you don't do anything when you're not streaming, then like you can't really expect to grow because most of the work that you're going to put in is going to be off stream. So the first thing that I have here is hop into other streams. Now, I'm not saying don't go in people's chat and self-promote. Please do not do that. That is so rude and it's just not cool. You don't want to do that. Instead, just find other people to support. You'd be surprised at streams that you hop into, people will end up following you back. They'll end up seeing that you stream. If you end up creating a friendship with that person, they may even start to shout you out. They may raid you. You might have just made a new friend by just simply supporting another creator. The thing is, you don't have to pick the same game category as you are playing. You can really choose whoever. I just recommend that if you're doing this for the sole purpose of networking, like it's totally okay to just find new people just because you want to. But if you are going into other people's streams for the sole purpose of potentially networking, you don't want to look at followers because followers don't really matter that much. You want to look at viewer average. Let's say your viewer average is around 0 to 3. You can probably hop into someone's stream who has about 2 viewers and you may have gained a new supporter out of that. The next tip that I have is make clips out of your streams and upload them to TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, platform that you are on. This is important because it gets your reach outside of Twitch. Just simply Twitch, it's a known thing right now. Twitch does not have good discoverability. You have to make yourself known. So by making clips of your streams, you can upload them and that gives you a new outreach to other people who may not have ever seen your stream. I upload some of my clips to TikTok, and while my TikTok has like nothing going on right now, I do have a couple likes from it. Does that mean that they're coming to my streams? No, but that at least gets my name out there to people. Right? It gets more people, the more people that like it, the more that my TikTok will be shown, and that gets a potential person to come into my stream. This next tip is so important and everyone should do it, is watch back your streams after you are done. This is also why you want to turn VODs on. So that way you can see if there's something that you need to improve on. Like, I've watched back my VODs and there was a whole stream where my mic peaked the entire time. No one said absolutely anything to me. So I would not have known. I had to go in and change my settings to make sure that my mic wouldn't peak again. It didn't happen the first stream and I don't really know what happened to the mic to make it peak the second stream, but for some reason it did. Had I not watched back my VODs, I would have never known. And that whole stream, I could have probably gotten a couple followers from that. I could have gotten more people watching me had my mic not peaked. Also, when you watch back your streams, you want to make sure that there aren't any super long pauses. Like I said, a couple seconds is okay. You want to keep it to under 5. I was able to see like, oh, when I'm doing this particular thing in the game, I'm usually a little bit more quiet, so I need to be more mindful of that, and I need to make sure that I'm talking. I need to make sure I have a prompt, or just make sure that I tell a story. I need to make sure something is happening here while I'm doing this in the game, so that way I'm not staying too quiet. The next tip that I have here is research and work on interacting. Now, what I mean by research is you can use Facebook, Discord, Twitter, whatever. Get other people's ideas and tips on what you can do to improve your streams. If you have your VODs enabled, you can say, hey, is someone able to skip through the stream and see if there's anything that I need to work on? Or there are tons and tons of Twitch tips and tricks and everything on YouTube, Reddit, whatever. Make sure you look into that and make sure that your stream is kind of the best that it can be. Also, you can work on tips for interacting. If you don't know how to be a good communicator, if you don't really know how to like come up with conversation, there are videos out there that can kind of help teach you naturally how to be a good conversationalist. or there are things that people have that you can do to kind of make your stream a little bit more interactive, whether that be with bots or questions of the days, whatever it is. Just make sure that you do a little bit of research on how you can constantly improve. This next tip I have is so important, and I kind of mentioned it a little bit before, but do not follow for follow, okay? Because the thing is, followers do not matter. You don't need a certain follower count to reach partner. You can have 90 followers essentially and become partner if you have the viewers and the hours. What you want to do is focus on viewership. Follow for follow does not work. There are people who I know that are trying to get affiliate and have over 1,000 followers, but they have 0.86 viewers. Followers don't mean anything if they aren't going to come into your stream. So don't be so caught up on follow for follow, because just because someone is following you does not mean that they're ever going to come into your stream. Not only that, but it is also against Twitch's terms of service. So if they do find out that you are following for following, they can ban your account. So just don't do it. It's not helpful. It doesn't do anything. Followers don't matter on Twitch. The last tip that I have here is support streamers who support you. This is really important because you may have someone who might be a little bit bigger than you that may find your stream, really like you, and decide that they want to be a part of your community. If you go and support them, that just kind of solidifies that relationship that you have with them, and you can actually gain like a really good friend out of that. So if someone comes into your stream, you can just simply ask them, hey, do you stream? A big community of supporting people is really like what you want. Don't be selfish and stingy. I know a lot of people don't really want to give out follows or whatever, and that's completely fine. But if someone is supporting you and they're giving you that energy, then just make sure that you return it. I mean, obviously you don't have to, you can do whatever you want, but me personally, I enjoy supporting people who support me. So if I notice that you're always hopping into my stream saying hey or chatting or whatever the case may be, best believe I'm going to want to support you. Anyways, that's gonna be my 15 tips on how you can possibly speed run getting Twitch affiliate. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll leave my Twitch linked, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, friends!